Welcome back to another YouTube video with Mrs. Woelders. I'm so glad that you've joined us again, and I know to all my students from Dorothy Peacock Elementary in Langley, BC, Canada, I am missing you. I hope that you're doing well at home. I hope that you are enjoying the sunshine, and I hope that somewhere during your day you smile a lot and you care for those people around you. So I get to tell you a little bit about what we've been doing in the last week and what we're going to be doing this coming week. And I know this has been, I guess, my second or third or maybe fourth YouTube video, but keep tuning in because students, it gives you a good idea of kind of where you should be at and what you should be doing. So with all that being said, a few updates. So I have learned that we will be doing report cards. I'm just not quite sure exactly what that's going to look like. So I'm still waiting to hear what report cards look like for term 3, but I have been told by different sources that we are going to be doing some sort of reporting. So with that being said, parents and kids and all those that are listening right now, I really do need you to make sure that you've logged into Office 365, My Blueprint, and also Mathletics to continue with your assignments and your work. There are some of you that have had issues and glitches, and I have too, with all three. And we have had issues with our server at our board office, so with Office 365 and with My Blueprint. And I know I've had some glitches with Mathletics. So with that being said, there are a few of you that I am going to be phoning home just to double check to make sure that you're able to do the assignments and upload and log in to Office 365, My Blueprint, and Mathletics, okay? What else? Yes, I think it's time to have a joke from our co-host, Snowball. So Snowball is going to tell us a joke today, and I'm so excited that he is here to lighten up our day and give us a funny joke. So, Snowball, why don't you take it away?
And I'm here to give you another joke. Are you sitting down? Are you ready? Here we go. Why don't weathermen tell each other jokes? They don't want to create a storm of laughter. Ha, ha, ha. Well, I hope you enjoyed our joke today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Snowball. I love his jokes, and I hope you love his jokes too. It just kind of brightens my day up. So we're going to move on to talking about our week in review. So we are now going to be talking about week 3. What we've just done in week 3, which is pretty cool. So week 3, there was a few things you had to do. So for our literacy, you had to do the COVID-19 Ed podcast, and you had to listen to a story called The Greystone, and also The Tear Thieves. And then after you've done that, you had to do the little activities, and you had to eventually upload to My Blueprint. So that was your assignments for this week in regards to our literacy. Of course, there was always bonus. You could always listen to the other episodes and challenge yourself in the Innovate piece. Sometimes I've given you extra bonus activities, so feel free to have done that. Or if you want to do it this weekend, you can too. So there's always extra learning. For Mathletics, we did our dividing groups and arrays. Now, last week we did part 1, and this week we did part 2. There were a few little glitches with Mathletics. For those people who have completed those assignments, they've already done their test. There are some of you who have actually literally signed those 2 parts, and they should be done by noon today, Friday. And moving forward, I will be assigning the work, I guess, the digital work, to each of the students to redo and revamp to make sure that they understand the concept, okay? So moving forward, I will be doing that. There are some students who have not finished all their assignments, and I know what ends up happening is it ends up building up in Mathletics. So if you haven't done one unit, it stays there, and then it just keeps accumulating. So I'm going to have to navigate that on an individual basis with different students. I might have to clear some assignments from some students so that they can catch up and be able to do what we're doing in class, or our digital class. So with that being said, I have added some wonderful videos. So this coming week, I've added a number of videos. Please watch those. My colleague from the Langley School District has done some lovely videos on understanding multiplication. And I've also included a really cool YouTube video on the times tables that give you some cool rhymes. So I think those will be great for you to be able to look at, watch, and they may come up later on in the next couple weeks as we eventually will be doing a little bit of math through my blueprint. But right now we're focusing on our literacy. And we were learning a little bit about what it meant to have a problem. So that was the literacy focus last week. And anyways, so we've talked a little bit about literacy, we've talked a little bit about numeracy, and now we are going to be moving on to the PowerPoint. So everyone should have added a recipe onto the lunch PowerPoint. I think that it will be very beneficial for all of us to contribute to a recipe. And I can tell you a little bit about what's upcoming for this coming week about our recipes, okay? Awesome. And then of course, we also this past week talked about humility in our playlist and what it means to be humble, meaning humility is the opposite of pride, is choosing to be kind to another person, choosing to give someone else an opportunity rather than yourself. And I hope that you learned a little bit about humility through that playlist. Okay, so this past week has been awesome. Parents, thank you so much for all your conversation online, as well as students. Thank you so much for all your posts. On my blueprint, I have made comments on all your posts. And so just so you know, this coming week, I will be giving you an assessment piece from that YouTube video I originally sent you. I will add it onto here somewhere up above with the little eye, so that you can look at the assessment piece again, because we are going to continue to work and develop our story summaries. Last week I did make comments, but I didn't actually give you formal assessment, partly because some people forgot their personal connections. So this week I will definitely be doing that. Okay, I think we are ready to move on to week 4. Drum roll. Okay, we are now moving on to week 4. So I'd like to introduce to you about what is going on with week 4. Okay, so let's start off with literacy. So in literacy, we are going to continue to work on our COVID-19 Ed podcast episodes. I will be now starting to introduce some other variety of literacy. So as of Tuesday, you are going to be listening to a story called Turquoise, Pearl, and Jade. I hope you enjoy the story. It's about fairies, and I think you will. And you're going to be doing the create activity, and then you're going to make sure you're writing down a summary, okay, of all the different things that you've learned in the story. And this week, we're learning about plot. Yes, plot. And plot, what plot is a sequence of events in the story, okay? Plot starts at the beginning, then the middle, and the end. And sometimes you'll have pieces throughout, okay? And so what plot is this basically points that you have throughout a storyline. So for example, Little Red Riding Hood, right? Little Red Riding Hood has a basket with food for her grandmother. Her mother helps her get the basket together. That's part of the plot. And then she goes into the forest, another part of the plot. And then she meets a wolf, another part of the plot. And then she goes into the house, grandma's house, and then she meets the wolf, but she doesn't think it's the wolf. And then she goes into having a little bit of dialogue with that wolf. And then at the end, she realizes it is the wolf, right? Now, Little Red Riding Hood, it has different versions at the end, so I'm going to just sum it off with that. But as you can see, what I've done is I've pinpointed all the different points along the story of Little Red Riding Hood, okay? So what you want to do is for Turquoise, Pearl, and Jade, the story, you want to make sure that you do different points, okay? Because we're working on plot this week. What is a plot? And a plot is a sequence of events found in a story, okay? So eventually by the end of the week, you are going to upload a summary, okay? And that'll be awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing that summary once again. And remember your personal connection with it, okay? Awesome. We have a special guest. Yes, a special guest is coming to us. Christy Watson. She is an author and she has written many books. I think she's written 8 books. So she will be reading chapter 1 of one of her books to us, which will be amazing. And that'll be on Wednesday. She actually is giving you an activity too to do with it. And I want to make sure that you've taken a picture of your activity and then you upload it to my blueprint. So with everything being said, I hope that you enjoy the literacy portion for next week. Okay, next, Mathletics. So Mathletics, we are moving on to a different section called multiplying and dividing facts. So with this part 1 section, you want to make sure that you watch those videos that I've included, okay? One of my friends is a teacher in Langley, and she has created some wonderful resources on kind of the foundations of what you need to know for multiplication. So I've added those to the daily plans. So feel free to check those out, okay? And also, you'll be looking at arrays, model multiplication. You'll be also looking at frog jumping division, okay? So it'll be fun. In addition, you get to do a special PowerPoint. So over the last couple weeks, we've been doing collaborative PowerPoints. Well, this week is going to be a little special. I am going to create a special recipe cookbook PowerPoint for every single student in my class. And I'm going to actually share it only with you. And you're going to have an opportunity to do a couple things with this special collaborative cookbook that's only between me and you. You can put up a dinner recipe, a dessert recipe, and if you want, you can add a recipe for yourself, maybe a special one. Maybe it could be Jell-O, I don't know, or maybe you have a special milkshake that you make. I don't know. So each student is going to get their own specific shared collaborative PowerPoint from me. So I think you'll have fun with that. And I know we've had a couple students that may have lost a slide or two in our previous weeks. So this will actually stop that from happening. And then after I've gotten all your recipes, I'm hoping to eventually put them all together somehow. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to put them all together and we'll get to tap into that amazing cookbook that our class is building. Okay? And the last thing, we have a beautiful playlist. This week, we are focusing on hope. What is hope? Hope is being able to believe that there is something better. Hope is to be resilient. It means to think that there's going to be a better days ahead. And I think during the season, we all need a little bit of hope. So with that being said, I think that this will be a lovely opportunity for you to be able to watch a couple videos on hope and take some time to reflect on them because I think they're very inspiring. Well, with all that being said, I think we're pretty much done our review of week 3 and our intro to week 4. Awesome. Well, for those students who are listening, I want you to know that I do miss you, and I hope that perhaps that during these activities you can think about our class and take some time to give a hug to someone in your family, someone in your home. Take time to smile. Take time to help someone out. Maybe you might want to make one of those recipes. Maybe you might want to clean the bathroom. But take some time to show hope to another person, show humility, show care and kindness. Well, until next time, I hope all of you are doing well, and I wish you wellness today and for the coming days ahead. Okay, I will see you next week. Until then, take care. Bye.